Zach, I think, man, you might get lost in Twitter sometimes. Here, let me dissect that comment. I hate Twitter right now because everyone, definitely not everyone, that's first problem, wants the World Baseball Classic canceled because it's worthless and no one watches it. That is a very minority opinion, and who the cares what John down the street thinks about the World Baseball Classic, right? People always overreact. When tragedy strikes, there is a group of people who are anxious and fearful and don't have much, spine, that just lose their minds and start blaming things and throwing their hands out left and right. I was annoyed. My tweet didn't come across the right way the first part. I was annoyed because we were celebrating a random group win and blew out your knee. But as I let it marinate more and more by Edwin Diaz, I'm just perplexed. I've watched all the clips that are available. I don't know how that man tore his patella tendon off of his knee, jumping up and down. I have no idea. My dad ripped that off of his knee. My dad he fractured his knee. I think he fractured his knee, tore his patellar tendon, and tore his quad right off of his knee, and it rolled up to his hip because he slipped on a leaf on our driveway and went up in the air and landed on his leg bent backwards like he was doing a leg stretch. So it made sense how he did that, all full body weight, but how the did Edwin Diaz do that? And Marco, it's funny you say that because I watched the pitch before and he pitched and he threw the pitch and it looked like his right side came through slow and he started walking. He looked kind of odd. I think he pulled it then. And then he just went. It's the World Baseball Classic. Everyone's hype. It's not really super professional. Probably did stretch as well. But let's just put this in perspective here, man. It does not matter at all what Twitter says about a World Baseball Classic. It's not going to impact anything. So for the people who are saying it needs to be canceled, you're stupid. For the people who are spending the last 2-3 days fighting like it's a crusade, white knighting for the World Baseball Classic. Oh my God, there's a village in this third world country that every years they all look forward to the World Baseball Classic and you want to cancel it? Stop, okay? We know it's very important, right? We know it's very important. It's very important to these countries. It is amazing to see how incredible the Japanese fans are when they play and how much it means to Australia, when they play. We get it, bro. We get it. We're not blind to that, but we're not we act like we're robbing people who are on the street. You're not doing that. KFC from Barstool is an asshole. He has all these racist tweets. See, here's this thing though, right? Whenever someone doesn't like somebody, the first thing they go and do is try and find out how they can prove they're a racist. I don't care if he is or isn't, because you know what you could do in this wonderful world of Twitter is block him, bro. Who the cares what that guy thinks? If you don't like him, just block him. But as weird as the people are who want the World Baseball Classic canceled and who are crusading for that, y'all who are finding his tweets, spending your days and hours tweeting back and forth with this guy, trying to get him canceled, trying to find all these racist tweets, trying to prove why the World Baseball Classic is awesome. Y'all are weird as too. Y'all have better shit to do with your time. But let me just tell you how corny it is when someone you don't like for an opinion, right? You don't like them because of an opinion on something else. You have to spend your time trying to find something that is a non-related issue to get them canceled. You are a hall monitor.
I'm ready to assume my position in the hall. I will protect all that are weak in the hall. All rules will be enforced in the hall. Okay.
You are the kid in the Recess TV show with the notepad. Those guys who are trying to get the World Baseball Classic canceled, even though it's not going to happen, right? It's stupid to even think that. They're lame as but you're a narc. You are the ultimate epitome of lame. When did we lose this? You're a rat. Challenge someone's ideas, but going backdoor to find a loophole to take them out, right, is so corny, dude.
I'm gonna call their job. I would tell them, hey, did you see the racist tweets?
And then celebrating it, taking your victory lap on Twitter for likes and retweets. You are the lamest of the lame. All for 20 to 50 likes, and then it's over, man. And then you got to go chasing that 15 minutes of fame again by going to cancel the next person because you don't really feel fulfilled because it's not a fulfilling endeavor. People, I've said this a million times, bro. If you want to be mad, you can find a million reasons to be mad. There is always something to be mad about. Literally yesterday, within an hour, I got called a huge complainer and then a show for the game. In an hour from 2 different people. People will just say shit who don't know you. They will just make shit up. You have to have that mentality that if they don't know you, their opinion doesn't matter. And if they do know you and they have a wild ass opinion about you, take a look at yourself and go, hey, is this true? And then if you think it's unfounded, then don't give a and move on. The only thing that matters is if you're not hurting anyone else around you, and if you look in the mirror at night and you are proud of the person you are. That's it. Whether some dickhead on Twitter thinks that you're racist or not, or you're a sexist, or you're a piece of shit, or you're this, or you're that, if you're right, you're left, you're up, you're down, you're middle, you're diagonal, does not matter. Because guess what? Yesterday, after the World Baseball Classic game where he blew out his knee, I turned off my phone because the discourse was so putrid. And I looked at my phone all day yesterday. And guess what? I had a great day. And none of that shit mattered. Didn't exist in my reality because you interface with the world when you go outside like a normal human being and you realize that this shit is not real.
Oh, I literally hit it over.
Even this shit that we're doing right now, that I'm speaking to you guys while we play a video game, is not real life. This is a window into a sliver of our reality. But it's fun because we want it to be fun. And if it's not fun, turn this shit off. If I'm not having fun, I turn it off. If you're not having fun watching, you turn it off. That's what we do. Now, this rant was not planned at all, but I think it's pretty good. People were so enraptured in Twitter culture the last 48 hours. They actually warped their own minds into believing that Twitter was going to cancel the World Baseball Classic. Let's talk about that, please. Now, not to be verbose and it's absolutely so boisterous on this topic, but it is blowing my mind. I spend a good amount of time on the internet. It's my job. And I can't even fathom why people think this is a legitimate conversation. You're not going to prove to somebody who you don't know behind a fake picture on Twitter why the World Baseball Classic is important. They will just know you. No, for the sake of arguing. They don't care. They have already made up their minds that whatever you say, they are going to say the opposite. This is a nuanced issue. Does it suck that Diaz blew his knee out playing for the World Baseball Classic, not in a Mets jersey? Yes, but does it mean the World Baseball Classic is not important? No, it's amazingly important. It just sucks that it didn't happen on the field. Now he's out for the whole year. You are allowed, as a Mets fan, you are allowed to be upset about that. But when you think about it more, the truly perplexing issue is that this man's patellar tendon flew off his knee, jumping up and down, or so we think, in a celebration. That is what we should really be looking at. How did this happen? This isn't Kendrys Morales where he jumped 30 feet in the air and landed around a crowded home plate. But let me talk about that for a second. Tangent. When are players going to get through their heads? Stop getting close to each other celebrating, jumping up and down. Stop it. We already stopped dogpiling because we know that was a problem. Why do we need to do this? Around each other. So we could blow our ankles out, blow our knees out, space out, dap up, hug. Hug each other, bro. Hug each other. Dap each other up. Get close. Get into it, man. Feel the moment. Stop jumping. That's a personal pet peeve of mine, right? That's just a personal pet peeve of mine. It's not really the core issue. But anyway, back to the real issue. Doctors on the Mets should be going, hey, wait a minute. Why did this guy's knee snap? Essentially, jumping up and down. Did it really happen just jumping up and down? Because as much as I just trolled about jumping up and down, they weren't even jumping that high. It was very minute. From what we saw. Maybe we didn't see what really happened. Maybe someone came in out of nowhere and like jumped on him and like hit him from the side by mistake. But just from what we saw, his knee should not have blown out that way, man. Last thing I'm gonna say on this, right? Use our minds and our logic, right? And rationale to understand that we obviously know this is a popular event. It doesn't take a skilled person to see this. And this second point here is the most important point that we have to understand. And I don't know a lot of things, but I know this is true. If you truly enjoy something, it does not matter, and it should not matter what someone else thinks about it, as long as you're not hurting anybody. I love Overwatch, I love anime, I love baseball, and I don't care what anyone else thinks about it. I don't enjoy a movie less because someone else doesn't. I watched the Venom movies and enjoyed them, but I saw before and after lots of criticism of those movies. It did not at all impact how I enjoyed that movie. We have to strive for that. If you live your life trying to convince other people why things you like are cool and why they should like them too, and you can't feel that enjoyment unless they think it's cool too, you probably don't enjoy it as much as you think you do, and you're probably not as confident as you think you are. We're getting this like mishmashed issue, right? Where like you can't, for some reason you feel like you can't enjoy something unless someone else retweets your statement. Very odd. You don't need an endorsement from Dickhead Magoo on Twitter. If you enjoy something, you should enjoy it. If you can't enjoy something without everyone else allowing you to enjoy it, there's a problem there fundamentally. Well, Zach, we know that. People are dumb on Twitter. People are dumb everywhere. Because what everyone does is everyone ignores the 95% of logical tweets, or no, 98.9% of logical tweets or tweets that agree with their point, and then they search out, which you don't even realize it. You, in your back of your mind, you're searching out the one person who disagrees with you, and then you amplify it by quote tweeting it and dunking on them. Guess what? For likes, right? It doesn't really bother you that this person has this crazy take, because deep down you like it, you sicko. You want to quote tweet it, dunk on it, and get validation with likes on your quote tweet, dunking on them. This is the dichotomy that exists, right? Because you say you hate these people for these crazy takes that they piss you off, but you love it when you quote tweet and dunk on them, and then everyone loves and retweets and likes your tweets. You're just as complicit in this as the other person is. I've been there, right? Oh God, this person makes me so mad. They're saying this about me. I'm gonna quote tweet it and dunk on them, and everyone's gonna like it, and then it's gonna validate. It leads you nowhere.